Welcome back to Policy and Rights here in Depictions Media Radio. I'm your host, Michael Clogs. And okay, so let's get down to this. That Donald Trump has made statements about how he has moved things very quickly and that he has fixed the fighting between Pakistan and India. And without truly understanding what is happening in the region, that just saying, hey, let's go make a bunch of money together, it sounds good in theory, and you can sell it to the Western world that you solved the problem. But the reality is that in other parts of the world, in the Eastern world, that is not going to cut it. That you're going to start to run into problems, and here is one of the problems is I have been on this planet for 6 decades, and I'll be totally honest with you. I believe that the issues that are happening between um, these three sovereign countries has been an issue for most of my 6 decades. That the issues that exist between India, Kashmir, and Pakistan has been an issue for decades, and that one person saying, "Hey, let's stop shooting the guns so that we can make some money together," isn't going to solve the problem. The problem is that between India and Pakistan, they don't really want to accept the fact that Kashmir itself is also a sovereign country. It is a sovereign territory that should be allowed to form its own government and its people be allowed to appear on the World Forum as sovereign people. So there is an issue right there. And that is going to be one of the major issues, and it isn't going to be solved by let's do some trade with the United States and Donald Trump to fix that problem. The tensions are still high there. The families that live outside of the area that have people who are living in the Kashmir region are saying that the tensions are still high, and that there's still a looming problem. So, what did Mr. Trump fix? Until we have real negotiations about how Kashmir can appear on the World Forum, there's going to be an issue in that particular area of the world. And for the most part, for a lot of people, Kashmir doesn't even appear on the map. You ask the average Canadian or American, and they're like, Kashmir's a sweater. So, okay. To kind of poke some holes at more of the Trump things, that going back to, for the same reason, that trying to get Putin and Zelensky to sit down at a table to come up with a ceasefire between those two countries when there are still the Donbas region, which in of itself, if you go back through history, you will find out that the Donbas region was its own sovereign state also, and those people also would like to see some sovereignty happen. They want to see their cultures and things be promoted, even though they're very similar to the Ukrainian and the Russian culture. There's some differences. They want that to be celebrated also. And the same thing with Crimea. Crimea was a sovereign country. and they want their sovereignty back. The people of these other two regions want to have a seat at the table when negotiating the ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia. And until that happens, there's going to be an issue. And just dealing with Putin and Zelensky may not fix the problem. That we need to deal with things that have happened in our history, correct them. Correct those things that have happened in our history and learn not to do it again. Oh, but wait. That's where some of the issue is coming in at because, well, let's look at South Africa. And when we look at South Africa and we see that the United States is opening its doors to South African refugees, what are they running from? And when we look closely at that, what they're running from is the idea that maybe South Africa is becoming a little more equal. Maybe the majority of the bodies that actually live in South Africa are starting to get a little more power. But wait, those people have dark faces. And the people who are running from there believe that dark faces do not belong at an equal table with those who do not. We start to see a pattern happen here, and that pattern is mimicking what Donald Trump truly believes. That people who are lesser than him should be oppressed. And there's a long list of people that he would like to oppress rather than everybody thinks, oh, well, he's trying to promote and take care of the United States and make it a great country. A great country for who is the big question. And when we look really closely at the Project 2025, and we look closely at Mr. Trump's agendas and his attitudes, that we start to see a really good picture. And not everybody is on that list to be on equal terms. There are those who are going to have extreme privilege, and then there are those who are going to be oppressed. And that is Donald Trump's agenda. So we need to move forward. Let's get past this whole Donald Trump thing, and so let's start talking about commerce in general. And the B7 event that is currently ongoing in Canada. It is going to be part of a series of G7, G20 events. And in this particular instance, what it is the business communities from around the world are gathering together in order to come up with resolutions to help bring countries together, help things trade become a little more easier and a little more convenient for the simple citizens like you and I who just want to be able to go shop and buy some stuff. But there's a lot more business behind that than just simply being able to go to a store. That there are trade routes that need to be set up. There needs to be things happening between all countries so that borders seem to disappear and products can move easily and swiftly so that we have the stuff we want. Yay. Okay. So we're going to hear from the U.S. ambassador to Canada as he talks a bit, and he kind of jokingly talks about how his family moved from the Netherlands, Holland, to Holland in Michigan, and how he moved from, because he's based in Ottawa, Canada. Now he moved from Ottawa County, Michigan, to Ottawa, Canada. Yay! So we're going to hear from him, Pete Hostetler, as he talks wonderfully about how we can come up with calmer solutions for some of our woes and help use that to negotiate and bring peace talks to the table. So we're also going to hear from Aaron O'Toole. Of course, you remember him as the Conservative Party leader. And he is going to make a couple comments about the Conservative Party and how maybe the Conservative Party needs to put Canada ahead of any other agenda, the same as the Liberal Party has done. They just simply want to bring about a great Canada that let's put all great ideas on the table and let's move forward with all the great ideas so that we have a great country to live in, a free country to live in, and a diverse, equal, and inclusive country to live in. Yes, I did use it, the DEI thing, because it should be there. We're going to hear a brief statement before that Antonio Guterres makes about the peacekeeping minstrel in Berlin. We don't really have any other recordings from that at this time. But the UN peacekeepers do a lot of really great work around the world to bring humanitarian efforts and to help negotiate and end struggles. So we need to listen to what Antonio Guterres has to say about the UN peacekeepers and peacekeeping efforts around the world to, hey, it's nice to be able to walk down the street, and here in Canada, we don't have to worry about someone trying to shoot us or a drone attack happening from another country. And it's something that if we can lay down the arms and bring about peace, there's a lot of other great things that can happen in our world if we all sit together, talk, and discuss our issues, our fears, rather than shoot them out or using drones and other weapons of destruction to get our point across. So let's push forward. We're going to listen to Antonio Guterres first as he talks about the peacekeeping minstrels in Berlin, and then we'll hear from our United States friends and ambassador to Canada as he speaks at the B7, and we'll hear some other press recordings from the B7.